Let's get into Pedro Pascal. Now, I've been a big fan of Pedro Pascal. I've seen him in so many different shows and movies, but recently I've received some alarming messages about Pedro. Now, it has to go back to his handsy behavior, him getting a little bit too comfortable with some of his co-stars. Now, Pedro Pascal being like a Harvey Weinstein is something I did not anticipate, and I don't think that he is like a Harvey Weinstein. I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are touchy-feely people who maybe don't have a great idea of personal space. Comment below if you are one of them. Honestly, back in the day, I feel like I used to be more touchy, but I'm definitely not anymore. Like, if people even want to take a picture with me, my hand is like floating around their body. I'm not even going to make contact. But it seems like Pedro Pascal is different. And recently, people have been labeling him overrated and creepy because of the ways that he interacts with his co-stars. Being in the industry, clearly it's not as professional as like the corporate world or even like retail or any jobs that you guys may work out there. I'm pretty sure the industry is less professional than that. So Pedro and his co-star Vanessa Kirby have been supposedly flirty lately with like nice little neck rubs, holding hands, hugging for maybe a little bit too long. In the film, Pedro plays Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and it looks like Vanessa is playing Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Here's a clip of these two on the blue carpet for the premiere, and I want you to pay attention to Pedro's hand. Here's a clip of these two on the blue carpet for the premiere. He's like moving his arm up and down. In another moment, he's at some Comic-Con and it seems like he's holding hands with Vanessa. It looks like Pedro had a stumble on the red carpet, and as soon as he got up, he went to go and caress her face. Now, Pedro has admitted that physical touch helps him cope with anxiety. He's claiming there's nothing more to it. Quote, "I was always the one to reach out when I'm facing something that is challenging or making me anxious." Can you imagine? Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to grab your girlfriend's boob. I just have some anxiety. I just grab." But actually, no, what he's talking about here is legitimate. I do think that physical touch does provide relief. That's why there's like these like weighted blankets, or dogs, if they're scared of the storms, you put a little like tight like vest on them and they feel more secure. This comment reads, "Where's Pedrophile's hand this time?" Another person writes, "Dude is a creep." This tweet reads, "They're not a couple. This stuff is weird." And then finally, using a mental condition as an excuse to grope women is low. What a shameless individual. Now, I do think that while, grabbing someone can help with anxiety, that does not like excuse the behavior. You need to have consent to go and touch someone. So even if this is Pedro's reasoning for touching up on people, I don't love it still. I mean, he needs to have that prior consent. But in the same breath, there's been moments where his co-stars are interacting the same way with him. I mean, it seems like they're just like hooking up behind the scenes.
These are gorgeous. I think that's my favorite image so far.
Just our hands.
Yeah.
That was our very first day
as long as you don't have to see my face. Terrible confession to make in front of Gordon.
It's because some of the best men in the world, so they don't count.
There is a lot of unnecessary touching. If I was in a relationship with one of these two, I would be upset. I mean, comment below if you wouldn't be. His co-star Vanessa defended his actions, recalling a moment where he actually grabbed her hand at Comic-Con. This was the moment where they were on stage and there was like the poster in the background, which is black and yellow. She said, quote, "What happened is we were both incredibly nervous going out in front of thousands of people who love this comic. He wanted me to know that we were in this together, and I found it a lovely gesture and was very glad to squeeze his hand back." Supposedly, Pedro uses touching as a grounding technique to navigate social situations, which might trigger his anxiety. And I just don't think you can grab people. Like, I faint. I get real anxiety, but I'm not like jumping towards someone to go and faint on them. I don't know why that's his go-to. Now, skeptics call this excuse BS, but some clinical professionals have acknowledged that it can help. I mean, clearly it's not a cure for this, so there's probably other coping mechanisms as well. But this expert says when it comes to Pedro, wherever you fall on this particular case, the real winner here is the studio, as the internet has been filled with clicks and commentary surrounding Pedro Pascal, which ultimately goes back to the Fantastic Four movie, and there's a bunch of buzz about this, but I don't think Pedro probably appreciates this news about him out there. Let's get into Kourtney Kardashian. These celebrities could have every single resource in the world, and I mean every single one of them, and still not know how to properly parent their children. Kourtney Kardashian got a lot of backlash recently because she put her son, Rocky Barker, in a life-threatening situation. She went onto a boat ride but did not put him in a vest. This is what happens when you have too much money and no rules, because every time I go onto a boat, no, I don't own a boat. My family does not own a boat. So we would have to go and follow the rules of whoever gives you the boat. They make you wear those life vests, especially if you're in a speeding boat. You wave the wrong way and then baby Rocky is gone. Kourtney's in some rough waters with fans after she posted a picture of her 21-month-old son, Rocky 13, which, 13's the middle name, kind of gives me bad luck. But Kourtney's seen lounging on the back of the boat and her little one is cuddled up in her lap. But fans can't help but to notice that Rocky's not wearing a life vest. So if he just went overboard, I mean, I guess, would he float? I don't know. This comment reads, please put a life jacket on that sweet babe. Another person writes, nice life with jackets. And finally, what? No life vests? Isn't that against the law? Kourtney posted the picture on her page, as well as confirming that she was breastfeeding her son. Celebrating the fact that she could after doctors told her she wouldn't be able to. Wow. Congratulations. How long can women breastfeed for? I actually have no idea. Hopefully that milk, I was gonna make a joke about the milk, but you know what? Let's just not even go there. I'm glad that baby Rocky's latching. That's very important. Kourtney did later acknowledge her wrongdoing, saying that she did bring him into the boat with no life vest, but she is now going to go and purchase one. So she's like, thanks for all the heads up. I'm going to do better next time. And you know what? That's all we could really ask for. She said that she hopes this incident makes other mommies aware of the dangers of certain types of boating without a proper life vest. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.